بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر ليلة القدر خير من 1000 شهر تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم ما أدراك ما ليلة القدر ليلة القدر خير من 1000 شهر تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر سلام تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر ليلة القدر خير من 1000 شهر تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر سلام تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر ليلة
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, our esteemed viewers at home. Alhamdulillah, today is another beautiful morning in the holy month of Ramadan. Today is the 22nd day of Ramadan, 1444 after Hijrah of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. May the peace and the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be upon the seals of all noble prophets. Okay, so the night of power is in search. Everybody is searching for the night of power. How are you searching for the night of power? I hope you're not sleeping it out. I hope you're not sitting it out. May Allah make us among the lucky ones, the fortunate ones that is going to meet him in the night of power in this year's Ramadan's Laylatul Qadr. And don't forget the magic words, Allahumma innaka afuun tuhibbul afwan fa'fu anna. MashaAllah. We're going to be right back shortly after this break. Please stay tuned.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
You're welcome back, our viewers at home. So as usual, we have a very important topic to treat this morning, and the topic in question is king. We want to know who is your king in Islam, and of course I have in the house with me, the honor of Ustaz Ibrahim Jarda. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Ahlan wa sallam. Thank you for joining us today again.
Alhamdulillah, it's a pleasure.
MashaAllah. So we're going to discuss this topic briefly so you can call in, inshallah. You know, so Bismillah, Ustaz, the time is seriously against us. Can you tell us in Islam what is kinship as regard a female, like a Muslimah? What is her kinship?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وبعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. All thanks are due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Salutation goes to the messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his household, his companions, and those who are going to be following his footsteps until the day of judgment. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala count all of us among them.
Ameen.
For the question you asked, when we talk about kinship in Islam and the Islamic attitudes towards it, this is what I think we're supposed to even start with. All what we mean is, who are those? Who are they? Regardless of their sex or their gender, we be kind to them as much as we can. We try as much as we can to prevent bad things from them or anything that is harmful. At the same time, we have to be nice with them. And the Prophet ﷺ, there are many verses of the Holy Quran about that, and the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ.
Okay, let me take that question again. You didn't get my question. I said in Islam, for a female like a Muslim, who is regarded as her kin? Who and who is her kin?
MashaAllah, it's a very wide thing, and in fact scholars divided the kin into about three.
Okay.
Some of them said Ashabul Waratha, those who are going to inherit you.
Okay.
And with that, your aunties and your uncles, they are not part of them from the father side.
For a female, right?
For a female.
Okay.
Some of them, they said it has to be al-maharim, the one that everybody says maharam. Maharam is,
okay.
The plural form is al-maharim. Al-maharim, these are people that they cannot marry themselves.
Okay.
You talk of fathers, you talk of mothers, you talk of sisters, brothers, and the likes. They can't marry themselves.
Okay. So uncles, cousins.
Our cousins are out of it because there is marriage between cousins.
Okay.
And in fact, there is another notion that we're supposed to correct.
Okay.
You see, cousins hugging themselves. Yes, it's cool when they are young and they are under the age of puberty. But the moment they begin to scale to reach the age of puberty and maturity, I think let Sharia take its effect here.
Okay.
We're making mistakes. And now we actually talk about the issue of kin of women or female kin, as you rightly said. You know, we make mistakes.
Okay.
Situation whereby somebody will think the younger brother to my husband or the elder brother to my husband, yes, is also part of them. And sometimes you see them even dressing in their presence. This is bad.
Even uncle to the husband.
But the Prophet ﷺ, yes, even an uncle, even his father, there is a limitation to what he or he can see. So, and the Holy Quran has stated this.
Okay.
Categorically.
No.
So it's a very big mistake. So when we talk of who are the kings of a female, her father, her mother, her uncles, her grandparents, from the father side, from her own side too. I think these are, so her cousins, she cannot be that free with them because there is marriage between them, because if anything happens to the marriage, there is permissibility in Islam that they can marry themselves. As a result, they are out of it. So in a nutshell, if we are able to capture all of them.
What about her husband's side?
Her husband's side, they also have limitations because they can't marry her any longer. As a result, the mahram takes place there.
Okay, all her husband's brother, uncle.
Her husband, they can't be in privacy with her. Let us take it this way. When we say mahram in Islam, these are people that a woman can be free with.
Okay.
She can be free with them. She can. They categorize the al-aura, the what do you call of a woman, al-aura. Al-aura is a general terminology. Everybody knows the meaning. So there is a heavy one. There is the other one that is lighter.
No.
So if it is a heavy one, it's only the husband that can see that part.
Okay.
So, but talking about seeing her neck, see this, it has to be her mahram.
Okay.
But for any other person outside this, what do you call it, fold, she will cover herself for the only thing he can see is the face and her palms.
Her palms, okay. So now, I want to be clear. A woman's father-in-law, is he her mahram? His brother, is he her mahram? If he has son before marrying her, is the son her mahram?
Exactly.
And then if she has cousins or perhaps
I think the issue of
stepfather. Sometimes the husband has a stepfather.
Yes.
So is the stepfather her mahram as well?
All these people that you outlined, they are all her what? Mahram, because
Okay.
there is no marriage between them.
Okay.
But strictly about the husband's younger brother or husband's brother, he is not, because the Prophet ﷺ was asked when he was categorical about the issue of being free with a woman, and one of the Sahaba asked a question, Ya Rasulullah, ara'ayta al-ham, what about the husband's brother? Then the Prophet ﷺ said, that is fadhalika maut, that is death you are playing with. And you see today somebody will say, oh, my younger brothers are with me, they are always walking around me, they are at home, my wife is there. All this is not correct in Islam.
No.
Everybody, there is boundary to the extent they can mingle.
Okay.
There is a boundary.
All right. So what is kin now regarding a male, like a Muslim?
The same thing, it means we are still talking about the opposite sex.
Yes, it's not the same thing, right? Like the female's kin is different.
The same thing. The same thing.
Okay.
The same thing. But let's also streamline it to the issue of marriage now again.
Okay.
Now, I have my wife with me.
No.
Her brothers can come in anytime they want to come in.
No.
Her fathers, her grandparents, her uncles, everybody can come in. But from my own side, my own younger brothers, they cannot come in anyhow.
Freely.
They will just have to say assalamu alaikum. If they are permitted to enter, fine and good. If she says, and we should not take it against her, she says, please hold on. You know, though we are in a situation whereby we are more cultural than we're supposed to be, more religious.
Yes.
And she has disgraced me, she has embarrassed me. No, it shouldn't be that. This is the provisions of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
No.
So I think that is also clear.
So men should not find it insulting if their brothers who are saying, please
If
hold on, let me
the
cover up, you know.
Please allow me to cover up before you come in, or please hold on, or this or that.
Okay, mashallah. Alright, so what are the responsibility of a king, in Islam?
So another very vital question. Generally, the Prophet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has slated this in the Holy Quran.
No.
In fact, there is a verse where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala calls it a right.
Okay.
We differentiate between privileges and rights.
Yes.
Wa'ati how do you say that? Give the right to them. Give the right to them. To the what? To your kinsmen.
No.
So, and many hadiths of the Prophet ﷺ has also, they are also explicit about it.
No.
One of which is, let me begin with the verses of the Holy Quran, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَآتِ ذَا الْقُرْبَى حَقَّهُ. Give the kinsmen their own right.
Okay.
Before any other person. Sometimes after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned the issue of parents, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bring the issue of kinsmen.
Okay.
Like Suratul Isra, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has decreed that nobody should be ascribed with him in worship. وَبِالْوَالْدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا, then be dutiful to your parents. Then down the verses, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, give the right to the what? To the kinsmen. And you see this also verse that is always repeated of every Jum'ah, often repeated. And إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has instructed, he has commanded that we should be kind to ourselves, within ourselves. الإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى. بالعدل first. We have to be just in whatever that we do. The second one, we have to be kind. Then the third one, and this is the topic we are discussing today, وَإِيتَاءِ ذِي الْقُرْبَى. As for those who are close to you, your relatives, be kind to them. Extend the hands of generosity to them.
Okay.
That is just a few among the verses of the Holy Quran.
Okay,
going to the verses, the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. In fact, the Prophet ﷺ said to one of our mothers, al-Mu'minin Aisha, that the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala attached to his arsh, his throne, that is what the king, to the extent that he says to Allah, Ya Allah, wasil man wasalani, anybody that connects me, oh Allah, connect the person, bless the person. However, anybody who tries to cut me off, oh Allah, cut blessing off from the person. Sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So it's not something that is that we can joke with, or somebody will just say. So they are. In fact, one of the Sahaba came to the Prophet and said, Ya Rasulullah, I have a problem. He said, what is your problem? The Prophet responded to him, what is your problem? He said, Ya Rasulullah, anytime I try to move closer and closer to them, they will be cutting me off. Then the Prophet said, you will continue to get closer to them.
Okay. So what is the punishment? No, what is the punishment now for savaging, the ties of kinship, for breaking the ties of kinship? Is there a punishment for it?
I think this one that we have said is also a punishment, because for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to cut off blessings from somebody, in fact, there is worldly punishment and there is that of thereafter. May Allah save us.
Amen.
Let's take the opposite of this hadith.
Okay.
Prophet said, Man sarrahu, anybody that want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless him and increase him in provisions. Not number one.
No.
Another one, in that hadith, the same hadith,
no,
he wants Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless him and increase him in provisions. He wants to be wealthy.
No.
Then he wants Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and yunsa' lahu fi athari, he wants Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to extend his lifespan. فَلْيَسِلْ rahima, let the person connect with his relatives.
No.
So this is said by the Prophet ﷺ.
So it's a kind of wealth.
It's a wealth. It's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bless one.
MashaAllah.
However, he who goes against it, we of course receive the opposite.
Of that.
The shortening of the lifespan, poverty will follow the person, and which other one that we said, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not bless the person. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us.
Allah Akbar, subhanallah, Ameen, seriously.
The ultimate punishment on the day of judgment is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has threatened, and the Prophet ﷺ confirmed it. La yadkhulu al-jannata qati'u rahimin. He will not enter al-jannah. And the Sahaba, they were astonished. Who is that person that the Prophet ﷺ is threatening? And he said, he who cuts off from his his kinsmen.
Subhanallah. Subhanallah. May Allah save us from doing that. Okay, Abu, as you can start calling in from now. The number to call is on your screen. That is 0817205 7609. Please do call in if you have any contribution or any question. Okay, as one lie, like I didn't know it was that stern, like the warning was that hard, as in like
even the Prophet
you won't even smell Jannat.
Didn't joke with it. Sallallahu
Alaihi Wasallam. Oh.
In fact, while we are still waiting for our
no, you can go ahead. You can go ahead while we wait for calls.
Up to one of the Sahaba of the Prophet ﷺ said, before I accepted Islam, one of those things that endeared Islam to me was because I overheard the Prophet ﷺ telling his Sahaba, and he was advising them, do these things, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make you to enter Al-Jannah. And he began, he said, Afshu salam, spread salam within you. Afshu salam, wa at'imu ta'am, feed people generously. وَصَلِّ بِاللَّيْلِ وَالنَّاسِ النِّيَامِ, observe salat in the midnight. And he said, وَصَلُّ الْأَرْحَامِ, then connect with your what? With your relatives. تَدْخُلُ الْجَنَّةَ بِالسَّلَامِ, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will enter you or admit you into Al-Jannah. Into
his Jannah. MashaAllah. Allah Akbar. Alhamdulillah. Ameen. Ameen. Ya Allah. Okay, so you can still call in if you have any question or any contribution to put in. Okay, so now, you know, in terms of sadaqah or zakat, now can you actually give it to your king? Like if the king is in need, maybe he's in debt or he has a dear need, and you want to give out zakat, is it permissible for you to give it to your king?
Okay, before I answer that, you know, scholars, they categorize this into under 3 categories.
Okay.
And they said before we consider these, 3 things have to be looked at.
Okay.
Number 1 is al-qudra lil-wasil. What is the capacity, financial status, the strength of the person that is connecting with the other kinsmen? Okay. The one that everybody looks up to, they yearn to see him. They are always longing to see him. Then number 2, hajatul mawsul, the person you want to connect with, that is the person that is in need now. What is the extent of his need too? Okay. This also has to be taken into consideration. Then thirdly, he said, that thing that you want to give, what is it? Okay. How do we quantify it? Okay. So all these we are going to take them into consideration anytime we want to give a talk like this. So yeah, I think your question in a nutshell is that, can we give zakat to our kinsmen? Yes. Yes, that is very, very correct in Islam. But let us fear Allah when we do it. That's why they said, in one of our scholars, he authored a book on this, and he said, Sheikh Al-A'id Al-Mu'ayyid, and he said, he gave an instance of 2 of them, a brother and an uncle. Okay. Your biological brother is poor. Then your uncle is also poor, perhaps is even poorer. In this case, you look at who is closer to you. Of course, if I ask you now, who is closer between an uncle and a brother? It's a brother. A brother. In Islam, consideration will be given to the brother before the uncle. Okay. However, if this your younger brother or elder brother is, inshallah, is well to do, you now cross him, then you go and you jump the uncle. Okay. So you look at the people before you do their position in essence. In fact, in Islam, you can give it to your wife, although there are talks among scholars that anybody that you have a responsibility over, you can't give it to the person. While some of them are still saying, no, there is nothing wrong with that. But one has to fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that it will not be as if you are revolving the wealth within the family. Because if we are to do that, the aim and objectives behind giving zakat will actually be defeated.
Yes, it will be defeated.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to bless us with.
Ameen ya Allah, ameen ya Allah. Okay, viewers, I'm sorry the network is really bad, so the calls have not been coming in case you are trying. But then again, you can join us tomorrow again because the time is already up today. You know, I'm sorry about that. And the topic we've been treating today is kinship, the ties of kinship, and we have the honor of Ustaz Ibrahim Yadra in the house again. Jazakallah khairan, sir. Thank you very much for joining us again. Mashallah. So our viewers at home, please don't be offended. The time is always very, very short when you're here. So you can join us tomorrow again for another enlightening and spirit-lifting edition of Ali Class Fi Ramadan. My name is Medinat Fagbon. I'm your host on this program, saying Ma Salam.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر